the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Alright, what's up, y'all? It's Logan, and I'm here just to talk about some of my favorite albums that have come out so far in 2020. This is kind of a mid-year review of just the albums that have really stuck out to me. I'm going to try to go through my top 15. I have them in an order right now, but I'm not going to go through them in that order just so that it could still be a little bit of a surprise once we get to the end of the year. And then, of course, there still could be shuffling anyways. I could go back to some of these and be like, okay, I actually like this one more now than I did whenever I first ranked it. And, of course, I hope and pray there are still more great albums to come that can bump some of these down. Not that these aren't great projects, but just that the more good music, the better, right? Yeah, I was going to wait until the end of June because that is the real halfway point, but looking at the lineup, it doesn't look like anything else that should be making this list is going to drop unless it's a surprise. I don't know. So I figured why not go ahead and do this right now, especially while there's nothing to review. I didn't get a review up for that Flatbush Zombies project. I thought it was solid, 7.5, somewhere in that range. Just really short, not much to it. Just something to hold us over. And then Dizzy Wright and Demrick dropped a project that I thought was pretty solid, somewhere in that 6.5 to 7 range. Just really easy to vibe with, really chill, stuff like that. But again, you know what to expect from Dizzy Wright. Just wanted to get those out of the way. But now let's go ahead and get into this. The first one that I'm going to mention is Coda the Friends Everything. Now, if you haven't listened to this one, check it out. Of course, Coda, he's hit us with some great stuff. He already came out earlier this year with Lyrics to Go Volume 1. I thought was really solid. It's only like 10, 15 minutes long, but a really solid project. This one, being his longer project for the year, I suppose, turned out really good. Not as good as Photo, maybe, but just really easy to vibe with. It's coming out with those summer vibes. Came out at the perfect time. Really good. Take your top off. Talk about the top of a car. And ride and vibe. Go to the beach. Avoid getting corona. Stuff like that. Really solid project. Solid features all throughout on this one. The surprise feature to me was Kyle, of course. I hadn't heard of this guy in a long time. Of course, I knew who Kyle was. I'm not saying I hadn't heard of him, but had not heard from him in a long time. And he came out and had a really good feature on this. I was really surprised by that. So yeah, really good project. After that, I'm going to mention Run the Jewels, RTJ4. Y'all know everything about Run the Jewels, Killer Mike, and LP. On this one, honestly, at this point, I feel comfortable in saying this was the best Run the Jewels of the 4 that have come out so far. Just amazing topics, of course, covering extremely relevant stuff like social justice issues, racism, such like that. Really amazing bars, amazing beat selection. Overall, a great project there. I don't really have anything more to break down about that one. You know what to expect from them, and you know how great it was. Next, I'm going to go to Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo. He did this one with The Alchemist. And this one, it's very similar to the Madlib and Freddie Gibbs projects like Pinata and Bandana. That slipped my mind for a second. Couldn't think of it. Again, very similar to those. Obviously, I'm going to go out and say Madlib is a little bit better. Just in this, I can say I feel comfortable saying that just because, those projects are better than Alfredo. But that being said, Alfredo is still a great project. It has a lot of that glamour coke rap. Has some great features all throughout it. And it's a very solid project where Freddie, again, he gets to show off his skills on the mic. He is one of the best lyricists in the game. He has a really easy flow. And he can change it up, but it works so well with his sound and everything. I really enjoy that project a lot. It's not one that I felt the need to go back to a lot, but it is one that I can easily, if I decide, hey, I'm going to go out of my way to listen to this, cut it on and listen to the whole thing, not skipping a single track. After this, I'm going to mention Royce da 5'9's The Allegory. This is one that I was looking forward to so much. And when I first listened to it, I actually didn't love it as much as I wanted to. It's definitely not as good as his last project that came out in 2018, The Book of Ryan. That one was a lot more personal. This one has a couple of songs that are skips. It's like 22 tracks long with like 6 interludes. So that's a bit much. But overall, it's still hitting with some very good topics. Has some great songs. Has some amazing features, especially from the Griselda boys. I know Conway kills it on his track. Let's see, Westside Gunn track that he's on is probably one of my favorites. Those are the Overcomer, I believe. And then on Upside Down, Benny the Butcher gives the best verse on the entire album. I mean, better than any Royce verse even. And that's not trashing Royce. Royce has some of his best bars in this one too. Of course, my complaints with it, too long, and the anti-vax bars were just, they shouldn't have been there. But overall, really solid project. See, after that, let's go to Futures, High Off Life. Y'all know how I felt about this one. I saw how long it was. It's like 22 tracks, and I said to myself, my God, I'm not going to want to sit through this, because Future is hit or miss. And last year, he was hitting. He hit us with a decent project with The Wizard. I thought it was okay, not great, not horrible. But then I really loved Save Me. I know it was probably just a couple of throwaway songs, but it was very reminiscent of Hendrix, and I really enjoyed it. I love Sad Future, and this is not Sad Future. Like, yes, it does have sad tracks, but this is more reminiscent of DS2 with the darker overtones, with the great, clear, yet murky production. He just comes out swinging, especially on that first track, the opening track, Trapped in the Sun. I love that song. I don't think there's a single skip on this album, while there are some songs that don't stand out as much, just as Outer Space Bit, and I cannot think of the name of the song, but the one with Lil Uzi on it, not as good. Still, I don't consider those skips. I think this album really went all in, and for the length that it is for a Future album, really enjoyable and easy to sit through the whole thing. Even if you don't want to, you can pick out your favorite songs, and that's a great way to listen to it as well. After that, let's go with J Hus, Big Conspiracy. Now, when I first listened to this one, I thought it was good. I think it came out at the wrong time of the year, and I still stand by that. It should have come out in the summertime, because it has a lot of those vibes where you can really just sit back and chill with it. But he has some really good lyricism on this one. He's coming out swinging way harder than he did with his last album back in 2017, I believe it was, Common Sense. I thought that was a good project as well, but this one really comes out harder. Now, I have had a lot of people on hip hop Twitter telling me that this is a instant classic. Not gonna go that far. It's not an instant classic, but it is really freaking good. Really enjoyable project that I come back to quite often. I've come back to it way more now that the summer months have hit. And me being someone who's not a big fan of UK rap, I really enjoyed this one. Really enjoyed it a lot. Next, we're going to go with R.A. the Rugged Man's All My Heroes Are Dead. Now, I'm a big fan of R.A. His last project came out in 2013. I think that one's slightly better than this one. It's just a little bit shorter. Of course, this album was like 20 tracks long. But being that it's been 7 years since he's dropped an album, I am always okay with that. Give us everything you got. It could have been 30 tracks long, and I would have listened to the whole thing. Probably a couple of times. Because, again, 7 years, that's a long time to go without any real music. So really enjoyed this project. He comes with a lot of great lyricism, a lot of great beats, old school beats, but with a more clear sound, of course. He has some rapid flows. He has some great topics. My one issue, of course, is that it is a little bit too long, so that some of the songs are just like, he goes out there just for shock value, kind of like that old Encore/Relapse Eminem, where he's just making songs just to say offensive things and nothing else, or just to say things about being an old head and only liking older stuff. So, forget all this new music stuff. That's just who R.A. is, so I give him a pass for that. But at the same time, if you would just cut the fat a little bit, this would probably be right up there as my album of the year. But that being said, it's still in that conversation. Really great project there. Next, we go D-Smoke with Black Habits. D-Smoke with his debut project, coming off of him winning the rap American Idol on Netflix. I think it's called Rhythm and Flow, hosted by Chance, Cardi B, and all them. Really good project. I cannot believe that TDE chose to sign Reason and did not offer D-Smoke. Y'all know all the complaints about Reason. He has not been hitting. But regardless, D-Smoke, killed it on this project. Very good debut project. Again, just went on a little bit too long. There's some songs where I'm like, okay, it's good, but it's not really contributing to the message as much as it could be. You just trim those out. I think this one came up to like 18 tracks, somewhere in that area. You get it down to about 13, maybe stretch it out and say 15. This would have been premier, oh my god, amazing debut. That being said, it's still a really freaking good debut. Great beat selection. His flow leaves a little bit to be desired at some times. It's not extremely unique, but it works with what he's going for. It works with his topic areas. He reminds me of a younger Kendrick Lamar. Not the same versatility, but what he's going for, what he's trying to build here. I see the blueprint for someone like that, you know? So keep an eye out for him and listen to this project. Next, after that, we're going to go in the direction of Mac Miller's Circles. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. You hit us with a great project, arguably your best. I might still lean towards Swimming as your best, but man, I love this project. Doesn't have as much rapping as you can normally expect from him, but his singing voice is so beautiful. It fits the vibe of someone who's just trying to say, you know, I went through a lot on this world. It's like he knew that this was going to come out after he died. It's like he knew he was going to die, and he recorded this specifically for after that, because this really sends the message of someone who has passed away, went through a lot of stuff, never got the help they needed, and yet still feels no negative feelings. He's just thankful for the life that he was able to live and doesn't want anyone to feel bad about the fact that he is gone. Love this project. It can make you tear up. It can make you feel good. It can be relaxing. And again, it can be really sad. So this one brought a lot to the table, and I really enjoy it. Next, we are going to go with Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats, Unlocked. Y'all know Denzel Curry is one of my favorite rappers. Of all time, honestly. I'm not saying he's one of the greatest of all time, but one of my favorites. I love his sound. I love his lyricism, the way he's able to just... I know unique word percentage is just a weird stat, but if you follow hip-hop numbers on Twitter, you know how high Denzel Curry's unique word percentage is, especially on this project. And the fact that he basically freestyles all of the songs. The bars that he comes up with on this one are amazing. The beats by Kenny, really good choices. I love the throwbacks and homages to people like DMX on this one. It's a little short, but that works in favor of this project, because if it was too long, then the gimmicks that they were going with could have gotten a little old. But I love the idea of this being like a comic style album with the cover and everything. I low-key want to get a vinyl for this, but I don't even have a record player. I kind of want to get a record player just so I can get this. But I really enjoyed this project. I loved it the day it came out. I still listen to it now, and I'll be listening to it for a while. Not just because I love Denzel. I love this project. After that, we are going to go in the direction of Galvey with Heathen. And Galvey is someone that I've followed for quite a while, being one of the Reach Records artists. I really enjoyed his first project, We Belong, but you could tell that he was just trying to pander more towards everybody rather than doing what made him unique. He kind of built a bridge with his next project, Panorama, where he definitely came with more of his own sound, but still had some of that stuff throwing back to what more people could relate to. But with this one, Heathen, he went straight all in, just his sound. If you enjoy it, good. If you don't enjoy it, there's other people you can listen to, and he wants everyone to be able to find something in his music, but he's got to stay true to himself, Of course, he's doing this all for God. I really enjoy the message that he's sending here, though, with, heathen is a word that the Christian community describes, it could be joking, like, oh, you didn't go to church, you heathen, blah, 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 but it's also something that could be used offensively, like, someone who doesn't serve God, or, like, say, someone who, just goes out, drinks and parties all the time, has sex all the time. They are the definition of a heathen. But what we need to realize is that every single person in the church is a heathen. We just have the message and sanctification, the saving grace of God on our side, So we need to go and spread that out to the rest of the world. I really enjoy that message. I really enjoy this project. It's only an hour long, has amazing songs on it, amazing beats. He is a great He has a great ear for beats. He's a great beat creator. And has some great features on this one as well. After that, let's go with Broken Heart by Hulvey. Hulvey, someone that I just discovered the end of last year, the newest signee to Reach Records. And man, this one's great. What was it? 6 songs, about 20 minutes long, and every single song is really good. Great message, just telling you how you could be going through a hard time. You know, you're going through the motions, but you need to rely on God. Put your trust in Him. Give Him your everything and let Him be your anchor. Just throwing in the last 2 songs on there. He has some really good bars. He has some really good flows. He really gets you in your emotions throughout this entire project. And he has a really good singing voice that is surprising to hear. Especially knowing that he's a spitter like he showed on his last project, the Prelude EP that came out last year. So really look forward to seeing what he brings to the table with the Reach Records lineup. After that, we're going to go with Westside Gunn's Pray for Paris. This one, Westside, I love him. He's been my favorite of the Griselda boys. I know that Benny's better. I know that, but Westside has been my favorite, and this is probably the second best Griselda project to come out, maybe third best behind the actual Griselda album. Of course, I'm putting the Plugs I Met ahead of this as well, but this is an amazing project. On the night it came out, I thought it could be in the conversation for Album of the Year. I had it ranked really highly, and now I still think it's in that conversation. A lot of glamour coke rap, a lot of great bars, some great beats selected here with DJ Premier getting in on this one. Some great features. You get Freddie Gibbs, you get Rock Marciano, let's see, Tyler the Creator, of course. Man, I really enjoyed this project, and I come back to it not as often as I would like to because it's not an everyday album, but when you do come back to it again, it's just like Alfredo. You can listen to the entire thing without skipping, and you will find so much enjoyment in it. Only 2 more albums to talk about here, so I'm going to go next to probably what you all know is my album of the year so far, The Weeknd's After Hours. I love this project. The Weeknd is my favorite artist out right now. I love his sounds. This is his second best project after House of Balloons, in my opinion. I think this is an amazing project. I think it took from what Starboy did and kind of adapted that to fit his old style with the more hazy, murky beats while still being extremely clear. His beautiful sound, his vocals. It's a little bit more dark. It's a little bit more heartfelt. It's not that pop feeling that you got from Starboy, because Starboy really was a large jump from his previous music. So that's the reason why it wasn't accepted so well. But this album, amazing. It has arguably his best song he's ever released on it. I'm not going to say it's his best. You know, I still give that edge to songs like Pretty or Call Out My Name. But After Hours is one of the best songs that he's ever released. And After Hours, the album, is his second best project, in my opinion. I love this thing. And finally, I'm going to go with Aha Gazelle's 180. You knew this one was going to be on here if you saw my review for it. It came out January 1st, and it is still in my, I'm going to, spoiler alert, top 5. I love this project. I go back, I have listened to this album more than any other album that's come out this year. It is only 7 tracks long. Amazing beat selections. One of those tracks is an interlude. Again, about 20 minutes. Great messages, just talking about how stuff like how you need to take that step in your life to take control of it, put your faith in God. Talking about the stresses that you can go through, the doubts that you can go through, but how you can find all those answers through God, and how you should take care of yourself, you know. Talking about even things like don't put things in your body that aren't good for you, you know, eat healthy. It'll take off the pressure of your joints, but then also take care of your mental state, because that'll take the pressure off of your mind, off of your soul. I really enjoy the messages on this one, and this one has spoken to me more than any other album. Again, After Hours probably is my album of the year, but this one is amazing. Again, came out January 1st, still in a near daily rotation today. I love this project so much. So that being said, that's all I got. 15 albums, in no particular order. I literally made sure to go back and forth, hit the top, hit the bottom, hit the middle, go back to the top, back to the bottom, all over the place, just so you really couldn't piece it together where I'm going with this, other than After Hours and Aha being close to the top, of course. But this has been a really good year for music so far. Not much else has been good, but this year has been amazing for music. I look forward to see what's coming out next. The rest of this month doesn't have much, which June and July is really when you should be putting out some of the best albums. So fingers crossed, surprise release, Kendrick. We'll find out. I appreciate y'all watching this. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub. Hit the bell next to my name for notifications. Share this video so your friends can check it out. Let me know what some of your favorite albums that have come out so far are. I appreciate y'all, and I will hit y'all up next time.